the ArtStudio app on my iPhone, and I want to show you how I created this image. So I'm going to actually start a new image. And so it gives you a template. You can choose whatever size you want. 640, I'm going to use 640 by 960 because that's the screen size. And that'll look fine if I put it like on my blog or if I put it online in one of my handouts. Oops. And the first thing that you're going to do is load an image. So I've got two backgrounds there. And to do this, I'm going to take and import an image from my camera roll. And I'm going to do a quick search for the textured background. I took this photo and out of a wall. I saw it when I was in Monterey. So I've loaded that, and that will be the background. Okay, so now I've got this as my first layer, and now I want to add another image. To add another image, you just click this little button here, and then I'm going to import the image from my camera roll again, and choose another one of my photos. This is of cherry blossoms, and then I can hide that, and I want to work on this layer. So the layer here is highlighted. You can see that's the one I'm working on, and I wanted to transform that layer, so I want to move and scale it. So to do that, you just take your fingers and scale it, and you can move it as you go. And I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger, and then I apply that transformation. So super simple. You know, to learn these programs, actually, it's all about playing. You just start pressing buttons and seeing what happens. So now you can only see this one particular photo. So I want to add a blending mode. And so what I'm going to do is overlay that over the top of my last photo. So now when you look at it, you'll see just hints of the actual flowers back there. And if I don't like that, I can go back and change the mode. Maybe instead I want to multiply and see what happens. So I hide everything, and I kind of like that. I like that better, I think. So I want to zoom in. Now I'm going to add another layer. So I'm going to go back to the layers and add new layers. And then so it gives me a transparent layer there. And now what I want to do is I want to choose a color. So maybe I'll choose that kind of blue color and go to my pencil, and I have it set size 15, and you can change these also. You can change the type of pencil, the type of line. I want that kind of pointy edge. You can also change it. If you click on this, you can hide all of that, and you can actually change it right on here. That's the opacity, and then you can change the size of it also here, but I'm going to keep it kind of small. And then when I work on that layer, I can just write on it. I'm just adding a little graffiti, and if I don't like it, I can go, there's a little arrow at the top, and I can delete that. I want to change the size of the brush because it's still too big. And I just want a little hint of color, so I'm just going to scribble. And then I can go back, and if I want to swap and change another color, I can add a different color there, and then go back and scribble a little bit more. So now, you know, I don't want that to be really that vibrant on that layer. I want to blend it a little bit. So I'm going to take that layer. It's still on that layer. You can see it's clicking that. Oops, I just hit it. When you hit the I button there, it hides the layer. Oops. So I made it the visibility. You can see what happens when you go to lower. Kind of blends in a little bit better. So I'm going to keep it at 43 there. So yeah, it's just a little bit of scribbles. On that layer also, I can go back and swap my brush out. Maybe I want to spray paint a little bit. And so I choose a spray paint. And if you hold it down, you can choose the type of spray you want and the opacity and how much it fades out. You know, you can move all this stuff around and it'll change what the actual line looks like. So now, wherever I spray and touch, it will actually, you can see how it's turning green over there and a little bit more green over here. So it's a great way to add just a hint of color on the background. So now I'm going to go, and these are other tools that you can use. You can change the brightness, you could posterize. It's almost like Photoshop, but you know, really simple for your phone. Now I'm going to go and grab another photo. So I want to go back and import another image, and I'm going to go to my camera roll, and this time I'm going to choose, I took some of these photos recently. I'm going to change a little bit, change it from what I had originally. So you can see now that picture's on there. I can go back here, and it's on a separate, its own layer. So it created a fourth layer. In this program, you have 5 layers to work with. And now I want to take that layer, oops, and I want to transform it. So I'm going to move and scale it again, and I want to get it a little bit bigger and then see what happens. So now all you see is that layer because you can't see anything behind it. You just see those trees. And to change that, I want to change the blending mode again. So maybe this time I go to overlay and see what happens. Whoa. So if I don't like it, I can always go back. You can see what each layer looks like as you work with it. And I think that this, when I transformed it, it didn't transform. So I'm going to make it a little larger again and then apply the transformation. And if I move this down, I want to see what happens with that layer. It's kind of funky. And I can also make the visibility of that layer a little lighter. Oh, I can add one more layer. So I'm going to take this and import another image. And now you can see how that changed the entire piece. So that has a transparency a little bit. You can see through that, which I kind of like. But I want to scale her a little bit so that it doesn't look like it's just floating in the middle there. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger like that and apply. And now here is the finished image. A way that you can export it, you can also take a picture on your phone by pressing the bottom button and the power button at the same time. And it takes a picture of the screen. The other thing that I can do is take this and export the image. So I can send it to an email, I can save it as a Photoshop file and email it to myself. I'm just going to export it to the camera roll so I can download it, and then done. And then you want to always save your work. So I take it and save and just rename it Girly Face and save. Have fun experimenting and playing and digitally alter your art.